So thank you again, everyone, for joining me tonight on another Mobe Elite Earners webinar. Tonight we're going to be covering the Traffic Masters Academy course and exactly how we can use it in our businesses to drive some additional traffic. My name's Matt Boland. I'm the Mobe Affiliate Manager, and I'm also joined by Russell Armstrong. Russell is our Traffic Coach Manager for Mobe. So Russell, if you would just go ahead and say hello.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Excellent. Thank you, Russell. And we'll have Russell speak on a couple of things a little bit later in the presentation, but I just wanted to start off really with the general overview of Traffic Masters Academy. And I just wanted to point out that if you are an MLR partner or above, the Traffic Masters Academy course is free for you. So it's included with your Mobe partnership. So in order to find it, you want to log into the Mobe back office here and then click on the My Products tab. You'll see a link right over to the Traffic Masters Academy. So I'm actually glad to see that most of you who have the course for free have actually been through it. So that's excellent. So Traffic Masters Academy, essentially it's 30 days to traffic mastery. And this description here, this is actually the mobemarketplace.com site that's yet to be officially rolled out, but it's a good resource for us even in the meantime. But it describes Traffic Masters Academy as the only program on the market that shows you what real affiliates have done to earn millions of dollars in documented commissions. So over the course of 30 days, you'll learn from the men and women that are on the cutting edge of traffic generation today. And we can say with all truthfulness that these affiliates have earned millions of dollars online. Most of them have earned almost that in Mobe alone. So the people, needless to say, that are teaching these modules are some of the most qualified on this planet. Now, this short video here is only 3 minutes and 44 seconds. I do want to go ahead and play this. It's an introduction to Traffic Masters Academy from Matt Lloyd. So it's a pretty decent video. I just want to go ahead and start this, and I want to make sure you guys can hear it okay. So if you guys, just real quick, I want to ask if you guys can hear that okay. Just put a 1 or an okay in the chat box. I just want to make sure that came through before I go ahead. Okay, cool. So it looks like, oh, wait a minute. Some of you couldn't hear it. Okay, most of you could hear it. So Jan, I'm sorry, mostly everybody else can hear it. So it might be something on your end. I'm just going to turn it up a little louder and play this 3-minute video here from Matt about Traffic Masters Academy.
Traffic Masters Academy. Now this is a new course and I'm quite excited by this course. Let me explain what this is about. So probably the number one frustration that I hear of, as the founder of Mobe, and we have thousands of people come through our training, the number one complaint is, well, how do I get leads? I'm not getting enough leads, or I'm not getting the right leads, they're not converting. So, I've been hearing that for years and years, and finally I just decided, look, let's do something about that. Let's show people how to actually get traffic and get the right kind of traffic. Now, I thought to myself, well, I could create that course. That would be a lot of work, and the truth is, if I'm being completely honest, a lot of people in my shoes who are the founder of a company and the CEO of a company, we start to spend more and more of our time managing the company and helping it get to the next level. So we're not as in the trenches, getting traffic as much as, say, an up-and-coming affiliate who just had their first $20,000 or $30,000 month. Because for that affiliate, their entire livelihood, their entire focus is on generating traffic. Whereas the CEO of a more established company, they're managing people, they're doing all kinds of different things in addition to traffic. So I thought to myself, well, rather than me creating the course, which would still make it a very good course, why don't I go to my number one affiliates in Mobe? Okay, these are people who I know for a fact that they're able to get traffic and large quantities of it because they're getting decent sales. I know that because I write the check for them every 2 weeks. So I know exactly what they're making. I know how successful they are. So I went to these people and I said, would you mind creating a course, a module for this course, Traffic Masters Academy, and showing our viewers everything you know about your particular traffic method that is your main source of leads. And it's interesting because each of these affiliates, they have a different way of generating leads. One of them who's generated, he's up to almost $1.2 million in commissions with Mobe, affiliate commissions, his traffic source is blogging. Okay, everything he does is around blogging. So when it comes to how to build a blog and how to get leads organically through the search engines, no one is really better than he is. Now, on the other hand, I've got another guy who's up to about $700,000 in commissions, and his entire traffic method is solo ad marketing. So he's very good at doing solo ads. So again, each different affiliate who contributed to the course, they have a different strength. And all up, I believe there's about 8 modules, 8 different modules. So they're each on a different traffic source. There's direct mail, Facebook pay-per-click, Google Bing, pay-per-click, solo ads, blogging, video marketing, banner ad marketing, pay-per-view. There's a few others as well. But if you want to learn how to generate traffic, how to get more leads, Traffic Masters Academy, as far as I'm concerned, I've looked at a lot of the traffic courses on the market. Right now, there's nothing more relevant and up-to-date than Traffic Masters Academy, so you should definitely check that out.
All right, so that was an overview of Traffic Masters Academy directly from Matt. And like I had mentioned prior to the video, every module is done by one of our partners that's an expert in that field. So just as Matt said as well, you know, he couldn't really teach each of these modules himself. He wouldn't be the best qualified to do that. But the people that we did choose are the most qualified to do this. And like I said, I wanted to just give you guys an overview of the actual course, what's covered, the people that are presenting the course and why they're qualified, and hopefully shed some light on how Traffic Masters Academy can help. So like I said here, Traffic Masters Academy is located in your Mobe back office. Click on your My Products tab, and if you have access to it, you'll see it right there on the left-hand side of everything you have access to. Once you're into the Traffic Masters Academy course here, there is, like Matt said, he said there's 8 different modules. There's actually 9. There's 7 main modules with 2 bonus modules. Now, the amount of content within this course is immense. Each module really could be its own course, and for $297, really each module could be its own product at that price and still be of value. I've paid more than that for some courses that cover just one of these topics, and the information in Traffic Masters Academy is much deeper and much more pertinent to today's internet marketing strategies and techniques. So Module 1 in Traffic Fundamentals is done by Matt Lloyd, and it contains 7 videos total, and each of the videos is, they're not all the same length, but there's a good amount of content here. Video 1, Matt covers the fundamentals of traffic, and he introduces this course and why he feels it's the most valuable course that we've ever assembled. Within video 2, Matt goes on to cover targeted versus non-targeted traffic and how that can ultimately determine the success or failure of our campaigns. Then into video 3, Matt goes on to talk about how our customer avatar is important and how identifying our ideal target customer is also important. So this here is an important step, and you'll actually see the customer avatar also explained in the other modules as well. Almost every person that presented in this course touched on how important defining our target customer avatar is. So that's a very, very important step there. So video 4, Matt goes on to cover free versus paid traffic and which is better and why. And video 5, Matt goes on to cover the most important question we should all be asking ourselves. And if we don't know the answer to this question, we're going to be dead in the water from the get-go, and it will be nearly impossible to put together profitable campaigns. So because you guys are on this call, I'm not going to leave you hanging there. The most important question in this instance, Matt's referring to how much can we possibly pay for a lead and still have that be profitable? So obviously that's a question that we definitely need to know in any form of advertising that we're getting into. So how much can we possibly afford to pay for a lead and still have that be possible? That's what Matt covers there in video 5. In video 6, this one here gets more into how to create our own squeeze pages and configure our own autoresponder accounts. Now, this is an optional step that is not necessary by any means, but it is covered here just for the sake of having it be a complete course. In the last video down here, video number 7, it goes on to cover tracking, what metrics we should always be measuring, and the best way to accurately track them. And down at the end of every section here, you're going to have a few paragraphs about the presenter of that module. So this one here, Matt Lloyd, goes on to talk about how at age 27, Matt sits at the helm of the premier home business company in the online marketing space. Grew up on a farm in Australian outback. He learned the value of hard work at a young age, was exposed to what went into building a business and the idea that there were no handouts in life. So I'm not going to read the whole bio there, but it just gives you a chance to get to know the presenter in that module and what makes them qualified to present. Most of you are pretty familiar with Matt and his background already. Now, in Module 2 of Traffic Masters Academy, this is pay-per-click, and this is done, it's broken down into 2 sections. General pay-per-click, and that's presented by Adam Holland. And then there's also an entire section of Facebook pay-per-click, and that's done by Michelle Pesco-Solito. So Adam Holland's section here on general pay-per-click, it's 5 videos. In video 1, Adam covers the overview of pay-per-click and certain terminology involved. He also goes into his background and how he's generated over 2 million visitors using pay-per-click and over $4 million in revenue. He also discusses why search PPC is effective, why it's possibly the most effective form of marketing we can explore. And he also goes on to cover the best platforms to target and certain strategies to use on each. Now, video 2, Adam goes on to talk more about research and finding effective keywords to target, and also tools that will save us literally hundreds of hours of time when it comes to generating our keywords. Within video 3, Adam goes on to discuss writing the ads and how we can attract the right customer with the copy or the text of our ads. And then he also goes on to talk about some different ad types and when and where we'd want to use them to enhance the effectiveness of our marketing. Now, video 4, Adam goes on to talk about budgeting for our PPC campaigns and certain mistakes to avoid, and also gets into some suggested starting budgets, which they're pretty low. You know, he covers about $5 to $10 a day for a suggested starting budget and exactly how to allocate those funds. Then he gets into certain starting bids that we want to use within our campaigns, and then goes into testing and tracking, and then uploading all of the ad content onto certain ad networks. He primarily concentrates on Bing and Google in this module, and he really suggests starting with Bing because the cost that we pay for clicks and overall for our campaigns is much lower, and that really gives us the ability to test and optimize our campaign before bringing it over to Google. There's plenty of traffic out there on Bing to utilize, so we really want to split test it there and get it profitable and then carry it over to Google. So all that's covered in video 4. Down in video 5, Adam talks a little bit more about optimization, finding what works and improving on it even more, how to optimize our landing pages, certain things that we should always test and where to start with our testing, and then where to scale and when to scale our successful campaigns and when to wave the white flag on non-successful campaigns. So this is a great course. Like I had mentioned, I spent quite a bit of money on PPC courses in the past, and I had a ton of aha moments when I had gone through Adam's module here on PPC. So a ton of great info there on PPC. That was one of my favorite modules within the course. Now, Facebook PPC with Michelle Pesco-Solito, this is a great course. If any of you are familiar with Michelle, Michelle and her husband Bill, they're a team. They work together in their marketing, and they literally are experts in the field of Facebook pay-per-click. Michelle does an awesome job, and she breaks down literally every different type of ad that we can have with Facebook pay-per-click, and she does an excellent job doing it. So there's 8 videos in this Facebook pay-per-click module with Michelle. In video 1, she gives a general overview of how and why she got started with Facebook pay-per-click, and she also goes into an introduction to Facebook advertising and the different types of ads that we can use. And then she goes into getting started and mapping out our budget. Now, she covers a wide range of budgets. Some people may only want to spend $5 a day. Some people may want to spend $100 a day. She covers both of those scenarios and almost everything in between. So depending on what your budget is, she's got a plan and a blueprint for you to follow. In video 2, she covers creating your first ads and getting likes to our Facebook pages. So literally, she doesn't assume that we've gone ahead and had a Facebook page for a year or two and we have a certain amount of likes. She covers it step by step from the ground up. So exactly how to create our very first ads and how to start getting our very first likes to our Facebook page. And she walks us step by step through creating that ad with the ad manager. And she also covers how to split test these ads with mobile traffic, which is huge. If you're not doing this now, you're definitely leaving money on the table. Down here in video 3, Michelle goes on to cover how to create our first page post engagement ad. And she really takes time. Each video in this module is almost 30 minutes long, and she literally goes step by step creating one of these ads. We're looking over her shoulder the entire time. And she also covers targeting for each of these ad types and how it sometimes differs depending on the different types of ads. In video 4, Michelle covers how to create our first clicks to website ad. And down in video 5, she covers how to create an event response ad, which is great for in-person or live events. And she also covers the differences when it comes to targeting with a live event. So some very important things that she covers there as well. Video 6, she starts to get a little bit more advanced in video 6 and covers how to create our own website conversion ads and the different types that are available. And she then goes into using tracking pixels. And if any of you are unfamiliar with tracking pixels, what they are or how to use them, there's some great content in video 6 here in the Facebook PPC module. In video 7, Michelle goes on to cover how to create an offers/claims ad and how to use them to generate leads. And these are almost like deal type of ads, like a Groupon or a Living Social. Those are great ads to use as well. Video 8, and this may be the most important video in this module. This covers how to optimize our ads for scaling. She points out exactly how to analyze our ad statistics and how to tweak them to be successful, and then she covers how to scale up those ads in our marketing. The thing I really liked about this section is that Michelle actually breaks down her own real-time statistics from her account. And she has almost every different ad type running in her campaigns, and they all have traffic being sent to them, so it's a great reference. And it's literally priceless to be able to look over her shoulder as she covers and reviews the important metrics that we want to be sure to measure and manage within Facebook pay-per-click. Another section there about Michelle, a little bit about her background and why she's qualified to speak on Facebook PPC. But just a great module there overall in general, the entire pay-per-click module, PPC in general with Adam Holland, and then the Facebook PPC in particular with Michelle Pesco-Solido. Down here in Module 3, there was a few different presenters, and I like this about Module 3. Obviously, YouTube is a huge resource, huge opportunity for us in the internet marketing space. This here was done by 3 different people. So we had Terry Lamb, Scott Smith, and Carolina Mian. If any of you guys are unfamiliar with them, first off, 3 great people there, all awesome. Terry is from the U.S., Scott is from Australia, and Carolina is from down in South America. Terry, his module here is 7 videos long, and video 1, Terry goes on, this one's loading here. Okay, video 1, Terry goes on to cover equipment, tools, and software that he uses in order to generate leads with YouTube. He covers both us being in front of the camera and not being in front of the camera. So obviously 2 different ways there. If you like to be in front of the camera, then great. If not, then there's solutions for you as well. So video number 2, Terry goes on to cover different video types and content ideas, and he also has a cool tip on how to never run out of ideas for content, which I liked. Video 3 down here, Terry covers some video editing basics and some tricks. He doesn't get too in-depth there. He really just covers some general editing and tricks. Video 4, Terry goes on to discuss video blueprint and funnel, and really, talks about how to format our blueprint funnel and how to use it to actually generate traffic and drive traffic and generate leads within our business, not just posting the video onto YouTube, but actually using it in a funnel format to generate leads and drive traffic to specific offers. Down in video 5, Terry gets into YouTube annotations, what they are and how to use them, and how to use them to send traffic to certain videos or offers. In video 6 down here, Terry talks about what YouTube really wants. And when he says that, he goes on to talk about how it's a social network, and we should use it as such. It's not just a repository for videos or somewhere we just go to upload the video, but it's a social network. And he points out how to use the different features within YouTube in order to drive some additional traffic. This was a cool section. I'd kind of never thought about it this way before, but this will really help us master the entire YouTube platform and different things we can do to help boost engagement. I had a lot of aha moments down here in this video. And let me see here. The Scott Smith section here is one video long, but it's a pretty long video. It's almost 40 minutes in total. And Scott covers his background, how he got started with video marketing. He talks a lot about conveying the proper message to our audience. And he also goes into some keyword research and how to target certain keywords with our videos, and how to reduce the number of competitors that we're seeing for that targeted keyword, and also uploading and optimizing the video to YouTube. So Scott had a pretty good section here. If any of you are unfamiliar with Scott, he was actually a high school dropout, and then he went on to be a plumber, and he was a plumber for about 20 years, and then got into internet marketing and has never looked back. So Scott's nickname is the 7-Figure Surfer. So that's a great module there on YouTube marketing with Scott Smith. Carolina, I told you Scott's video was long. Carolina's video is even longer. This one here is almost an hour long. There's one video in her module, and she discusses her background and how she managed to find success with video marketing. And then she goes on to talk about the 3 stages of a successful video marketing campaign, and she breaks them all down individually. She also goes on to discuss how to use video to provide social proof to your prospects and leads. And she shows us some videos that are working for her and actually driving results. So it's good to actually see that case study. And she breaks them down step by step and why she thinks they're effective. She also goes on to cover exactly how to create a YouTube channel. So if you don't know how to do that, there's some great content in there. And then she goes into some options for screen sharing and editing, and how to shoot video with us behind the camera. And then just like Terry does, she also covers some other options for us in front of the camera with different cameras and equipment that she uses to shoot some really nice high-quality videos. So that was a great section as well by Carolina. Module 4 is all about solo ad marketing. And there may not be a better person on this planet to learn solo ad marketing from than Shakir Hussain. So this video, there's actually 2 videos in this module, and they're kind of longer videos too. Video 1, Shakir talks about how he got started with solo ads and how he's managed to generate millions of dollars in network and affiliate marketing revenue and actually earn the nickname the 10K a day kid. He covers 3 key elements when buying solo ads. He lists them out in order of importance, and he talks about why they're so important to the ultimate success or failure of our campaign. He also covers some things that we must do if we want to see ROI within 30 days of our solo ad. Some key things there that we must do. And he also goes on to talk about some important questions to ask when buying our solo ads and certain things that we should always know about the list that we're promoting to. Shakir also goes on to define some of the goals of solo ads, and then we actually get a chance to look over his shoulder as he shops for a solo ad vendor. So he takes us out there. If he had to start today and find a solo ad vendor for the first time, he shows us exactly where to go and how to find the different vendors and what to look for. And then he breaks down how to write the effective solo ad copy so we can actually get some clicks to our offer. He covers subject lines, body copy, different calls to action, and then he gets into testing, tweaking, and scaling. Down in video 2, he covers what happens after someone clicks on the link in our solo ad. So he gets more into the rest of the funnel, and Also the traffic flow and how to create landing pages and autoresponder accounts. So that's a complete module there. And like I said, Shakir is probably one of the most qualified people to speak about solo ads. And you can see here at 25 years old, his online business generates over $300,000 per month in revenue. His best month in this industry has been over $385,000. He's actually, I did a webinar with him last week, and he was about $40,000 away from earning $1 million in Mobe alone. So it's pretty safe to say that before the end of this month here, Shakir is going to have earned $1 million in just Mobe commissions. So obviously he's involved in much more other than Mobe. Let's see, Module 5. This is banner ad marketing, and this was done by David Gilks. And David has done 4 videos for us in this module. Video number 1, David goes into a little bit of his background and an introduction to banner ads, or display advertising as it's also called. And then he covers some history of display advertising, what makes a good banner, where to get banner ads to use, and finding sites to advertise on, and covers a few advanced concepts too that are pretty cool. Video 2, David covers website research tools and how to use these tools to analyze websites in order to ensure that they're a good fit for our ad. Very important there. Definitely want to be using the tools and some of the techniques that David covers in video 2. Down in video 3, David gets a little bit more into banner ad negotiation and budgeting. He also covers how we as the buyer are in the power position and how we can use that to our advantage in the negotiations. Then he also gets into a real-world example of a display ad and the negotiation that went down with that particular ad. Down in video 4, David talks about selecting different banners to use, where to find them already made, or where to have them custom made if we'd rather go that route. And he also covers some minor HTML banner formatting as well. And you can see the couple paragraphs down there about David. Module 6, blogging secrets. You heard Matt mention it in the video I showed you about when he spoke about Traffic Masters Academy. This module is taught by John Chow, and it's 6 videos total. John talks about, in video number 1, he talks about who he is and why he might be the most qualified person to teach blogging, what is blogging and why it's popular, why we should all have one, and why it's great for traffic generation, and how we can actually get other people to promote our blog for us. Some cool tips there in video 1. In video 2, John covers different blogging platforms that are available and how to use them. In video 3, he covers how to create a blog on our own domain and step-by-step exactly how to set that up, you know, installing a WordPress theme and configuring plugins and whatnot if you want to actually install a blog on your own domain. Down in video 4, John covers getting your blog to show up in the Google search results and actually generating traffic. So there's some key steps that we must take in order for Google to know that our blog exists and have it recognized. And he actually breaks down a top Google ranking and the key elements that he thinks help get it there. And then goes into some proper keyword research and tools that he uses to find out exactly what people are searching for. And down in video 5, John covers the blog business model and how to effectively monetize our blog traffic. There are definitely some things that you're going to want to do with your blog traffic, and there's certain things you want to avoid in order to stay clear of disaster when it comes to your blog. So that's covered in video 5. In video 6, John talks about some final tips and actually goes into a case study showing how he used his blog to promote one product and managed to make over $1 million in the process. So that's a pretty impressive video that you're going to want to check out there in video number 6. And then John has the description here about himself. He's been featured in such publications as the Vancouver Sun, the Globe and Mail, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur Magazine, Ming Pao Magazine, and DC Business Magazine. John is very famous and probably one of the best people to learn from when it comes to blogging. Down in Module 7, this was warm market traffic, and there was 2 sections here, one done by Sue and Jerry Smart and the other done by Ernest Lim. Sue and Jerry have one video here And this video covers their background, how they got involved with network marketing, and also covers how to build our list from the ground up without the internet. So it covers live events, seminars, more traditional type of marketing, and also covers why this type of marketing is effective and how it can really help us establish an incredibly strong bond with our leads. Really, there's a level of personalization with warm market prospecting that you can't replicate online. So Sue and Jerry have done an excellent job of this over the years, and their expertise is laid out there in their video. The other video in the warm market traffic, this one's done by Ernest Lim. And Ernest does a great job here of covering the warm market and really the mindset of the warm market, how to open conversations, who we should approach first when it comes to warm market prospecting, and really how to open conversations and what to say at certain points. That's a great video there by Ernest. It'll really help you. If you've ever been stuck exactly what to say to family or friends, when it comes to talking about your business, there are some key things that Ernest covers here that'll help you stay on track when it comes to that. There's also 2 bonus modules at the end, one here on direct mail, and this one is done by Larry Crisp. There's one video here by Larry, and he talks about how to use direct mail in our marketing and why it's still one of the most effective forms of advertising available to us. And you'd actually be surprised at how affordable it can be as well when done correctly. So awesome module there. Really, direct mail is probably one of the most underutilized marketing resources for us. But after you watch Larry's module there, you'll probably want to explore it a little bit more. The other bonus module is PPV, or pay-per-view. This was broken down into 2 videos, one done by Bernardo de la Vega and the other done by Luke Lim. In video 1, Bernardo covers how to master pay-per-view traffic and how to actually use it to generate leads. He goes on to cover keyword research, how we can set up our campaigns, and some various tracking tools that he uses in his advertising to measure his success. Down in video 2, Luke focuses on optimization and scaling the PPV campaigns once they're successful. He covers how to buy traffic that sells, understanding tracking data, some key metrics to watch, what makes a good campaign successful, and also how to identify a failing campaign and when to cut that off. So some good modules there on pay-per-view traffic and some info there about Luke and Bernardo. Now, Luke would have been a great one to present on our warm market traffic because Luke has actually been doing really, really well with our Home Business Summit events. The last few Home Business Summit events in Singapore, Luke has absolutely killed it and made a lot of money in commissions in the process. So that is a breakdown and a run-through of the different modules of Traffic Masters Academy. And there's a ton of content here. You could really, Matt suggests taking about 30 days to go through all of this content. And I don't think you could even do it in one day if you watched every video back to back. There's just that much content here. And you really should take your time going through this stuff. Let it soak in. And at the beginning, in the Traffic Fundamentals module, Matt talks about going through the entire Traffic Masters Academy course once, watch the entire thing, every video, watch the whole thing once, and then go back through it and try and pick one form of traffic and master that before moving on to anything else. We can't all be experts on every one of these different types of traffic. It's impossible. And, Matt can't do it, I can't do it, you can't do it, Russell can't do it, none of us can. But what we can do is find the best source of traffic that we think we can connect with and master that. And that's what Matt suggests. So go through the entire Traffic Masters Academy course and then go back through, pick out one module in particular that you seem to connect with and implement that and master that. And don't quit until you do. So that's Traffic Masters Academy. Everybody that is an MLR, Mobe partner, or higher has access to Traffic Masters Academy. And everybody that does not have MLR or higher would need to pay $297 for Traffic Masters Academy. It's well worth it. And you as a Mobe partner also have the option to promote Traffic Masters Academy, and you'll earn 50% commissions on any Traffic Masters Academy sales that you make. So regardless of your positioning in Mobe, you're going to earn 50% commissions. So it's about $148 every time you sell one of these courses. So again, I'll ask you guys to hold off on any questions just until the end here. Russell, are you still there, Russell?
I am.
Excellent. If I left anything out or anything you wanted me to cover, definitely let me know. But I was wondering if you could just kind of speak a little bit to the webinars that come along with Traffic Masters Academy. I think there's, this course here, unlike some of the others on the market, we don't leave you stranded. There's a ton of information here, and we want to have you. We want you to be able to implement this once you're done with the course. So we've set up webinars that you can actually attend after you've gone through Traffic Masters Academy or while you're going through Traffic Masters Academy. If you have some questions come up, we have webinars scheduled twice a day on these certain modules that you can attend. You can get on that webinar, you can get your questions answered, and you can get the personal help and guidance that you need to help bring you there. So Russell, I was hoping if you could just speak a little bit more about those webinars and exactly why they're a great resource for our partners.
Yeah, sure. Matt, why don't you show them real quick where they can actually find the webinars first, which would be in the daily calls area.
Okay.
And this is going to bring up the calendar of all the webinars. Obviously, this Elite Earners webinar, the Fast Start webinars that are on Monday nights, and then all of the Traffic Master Academy webinars that are available to you. They're all going to be listed as the TMA. And as you see on the screen there, by the date, it will give what time. Now, again, all of these times are based on Eastern Standard Time, and so it'll list for you what the topic is about. The way the Traffic Master Academy webinars work is they're a 30-minute webinar. About roughly 15 minutes of that is actual content. And then the rest of the time is for questions and answers. The purpose of these is to supplement the Traffic Master Academy modules in the main program itself. It is the reason we repeat the information. If you like when I have a banner ads webinar that I do, and on Tuesdays I do that twice in one day, and on Wednesdays I do it once. And so you will find that the content itself is exactly the same. The slides are exactly the same. The difference in each one of these webinars, what makes them unique, is the questions and answers at the end. And again, we give anywhere from 10, 15 minutes of questions and answers afterwards. Sometimes these coaches will go all, beyond that 30-minute mark. These are all presented by traffic coaches. So these are people that work with students on a daily basis, teaching them traffic generation and so on. And again, it's meant to supplement what you would see in the Traffic Master Academy. It's not meant to replace it. All right. The reason we started up these webinars is because as I know, I've been doing marketing for about 3 years now, but I've been teaching people for over 31 years. And sometimes you can't get everything out of just a video. You can watch a video and it's great. It's fantastic content. You take notes, but there's always that one question you want to ask. Well, obviously you can't ask a video that question. That's the purpose of the Traffic Masters Academies, is that you could go and ask a traffic coach that information and get that answered for you. So we highly recommend that if you are going to join the webinars, do it any time. You can join them multiple times. If you have more questions that arise, you can come back to the webinar and join it again, ask those questions. But the key thing is watch the modules. They're going to explain in detail about the topic you're covering, and then come to the webinars and kind of get that that additional information or that Q&A that's available to you. So basically, you're dealing with a traffic coach, well, not really one-on-one, but as a group. And sometimes what's nice, too, is when we have the group of people that show up for these webinars, is sometimes people ask questions that you maybe either didn't think of or maybe didn't want to ask that question. So it's always nice when you do these group type of calls that, you know, these answers come out that you weren't even thinking about that question and you now have an answer. So they're good to go to. Now, the thing I will tell you is they're all live, okay? So they're just like any other webinar. However, occasionally, and we've had some glitches here, we have coaches that are all over the world. And not everyone has the most dependable internet connection. You know, as we know, weather affects the world, you know, in different places at different times. So every once in a while, there may be a webinar that you show up to. It's just like any webinar on the internet, that something technical issue-wise happens and the webinar does not happen. So that's also the purpose of these things being repeated on a regular basis. Just reschedule, go to the next webinar, and join it there. We apologize for any kind of inconvenience, but we have had some issues. We think we have them resolved. You got to realize we had to open up multiple GoToWebinar accounts in order to handle all of these webinars, and it took us a little while to figure out why webinars were ending in the middle. Well, what we discovered is two people couldn't occupy the same place at the same time, and so one instructor would come on early, log on, and bump the other instructor back off of their webinar. So we've resolved those issues. Come and join us on them. They're great webinars, and a lot of good content and a lot of fresh answers for you.
Yeah, definitely. Good point there, Russell. You know, with literally having coaches all over the world and partners all over the world, it's really tough to sync up. But that's why we've repeated them so much. You'll see, you know, some days the same webinar is going to be 2 different times and, you know, multiple times each week. So they're all in there. You know, we're not going to leave you hanging. That's why we've scheduled them there. You know, you purchase Traffic Masters Academy today, and you come back 2 years from now, you're still going to have access to these webinars. So you know, you're going to want to go through the video courses, like Russell said. You're not going to want to attend the webinar and expect to really learn all the content there. It's just a brush up, a familiarization. It's just a chance for you to get together with some like-minded people going through the same module as you at that point in time, and kind of seeing what's on their mind and getting your questions answered. Like Russell said, it's really not a one-on-one setting per se, but it is sort of an intimate setting. There's generally not hundreds of people on these calls. They're generally smaller calls. You know, you have a really good chance of getting your questions answered on these calls. It's not going to be, you know, drowned out in a chat box and you're going to have to wait, you know, an hour and a half to get your question in or anything like that. It's really more of an intimate setting, and that's why we've set them up this way, to do exactly that. So. Excellent. So yeah, thank you, Russell. If any of you guys need to find these webinars, you can find them right back here in the back office under daily calls. And if you have any questions, if you ever have any issues with registration or anything like that, you know, just go ahead and register for the next webinar and go from there. But thank you for that info, Russell. If you guys have any questions, I'll go ahead and take those now. I didn't have any other content planned, so if you guys have anything, you can go ahead and pop it in the chat box. All right, and this recording here, if you guys need to reference back on this will be located in the Elite Earners Vault, and you'll have access to that. You also can find Traffic Masters Academy from the My Products tab. I'll just show you that here now while I have you on the call. And if you have access to it, you'll see it listed here under the left side under Courses I Own, Traffic Masters Academy there. If you don't have access to it along this left side here, it will be available under Special Offers to Me, and you can go ahead and click on it and check it out that way. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'll thank you guys all for attending tonight. And you can reach me at affiliates@mobe.com if you do end up having any questions or need any guidance whatsoever. You can reach me right there. My email address, affiliates@mobe.com. And I just saw one question pop in. Over here. Cool. All right. Nope. Just some thank yous. Thank you, Matt. Great info. Thanks, Russell. Awesome job. And just a bunch of thank yous. Awesome. So thank you guys all for attending tonight. Russell, thank you so much for your input. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch up with you guys all soon.
All right. Have a good night.
Thanks, Russell. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.